we're going to be looking at writing equations in slope-intercept form. We're learning targets are find slope, average rate of change, and write a linear equation in slope-intercept form. So we've already touched base with some of this a little bit. Slope-intercept form, we know, is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is our y-intercept. Again, this is just review from last chapter. Slope, remember, if I have 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2, the slope formula is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. That's our slope formula. We're going to be using that information today, but again, that first part there, that should be review. So example 1, write an equation based on the information. Our slope is -1/2, our y-intercept is 6. So we just got to plug in our information. Y equals -1/2 x plus 6. Again, just filling out that information off of my m and my b. Now example 2, I have a graph. Write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form. Now here's the nice thing about this graph. I have my y-intercept here. That's going to be useful because I know what my b is. So that point is my y-intercept. Now, here's the downside. I don't have my slope. So I gotta find my slope. And my slope is just counting, okay? Because we know that a slope is rise over run, okay? We'll actually add that up here. So if I'm looking at my first point, I am going down 2 and to the right 3. Okay, now, based on that information, down is a negative direction, so it's negative, and right is a positive direction, so that's +3. Okay, so our equation is y equals -2/3 x plus 2. So now let's go and actually add some stuff to our frame. On your frame, information here is important, so I'd write that down on your frame. And then this next information, just talking about the slope, remember, if we have down, that's a negative. If we have right, that's positive. If we have up, that's a positive. If we have left, that's a negative. So once again, I would have all of this information written down on your frame. Take a little bit of time to write this down. If you need to pause the video, go for it. Now example 3, write an equation of a line that passes through the 2 given points. Well, looking at this, I have a 0, 6. This, we know everything is in the format of 0b. This is my y-intercept. Okay, now here's the, I shouldn't say downside, but I don't have a graph to figure out my slope. However, I can use that slope equation in order to calculate it. So remember, y minus y over x minus x. So I have 6 minus 3 divided by 0 minus -2. Remember that the 6 and the 0 have to line up vertically because they're the same point. Kind of like the 3 and the -2. They're the same point, so they have to line up vertically there. So 6 minus 3 gives me 3. 0 minus -2 is +2. Now I can write my equation. Y equals 3 over 2x plus 6. Example 4, write a linear function with the given information. So a linear function, remember, isn't that much different than an x comma y. we have 2 points here. My first point is at 0, -3. So what I did is I pulled the x out from inside that function, and then my y coordinate was that -3. So if you need to make a little note, it's really in this format. F of x equals y. I'd go ahead and put that on your frame, highlighting it so that way you can put that on your frame. So looking at that second point, my second point is for 7. Now that I have this out of function notation, this is the same format as example 3. I know that b is -3, and my slope I need to find. So I have -3 minus 7 over 0 minus 4. So -10 over -4. I need this in reduced format. So they're both divisible by 2. And because it's a negative over a negative, it's going to be a positive. So I have 5 over 2. Now I can write my equation. Y equals 5 over 2x minus 3. This is our slope-intercept form right in equations. I have a Google form for you to fill out on Schoology. Please make sure that you do that.